Hi traders, my name is Duncan Cooper and I'm a Senior Market Strategist and Trading Mentor at AUDJPY Securities. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the key trading levels for the week ahead for the pairs the Australian dollar to the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar to the US dollar, the euro to the Japanese yen, the euro to the US dollar, the pound to the Japanese yen and the pound to the US dollar. So let's get into the first pair. Hi traders, hope you had a great trading week. Now I'm on the Aussie yen daily chart, got my monthly, weekly, daily support and resistance levels all drawn in. They're in the description below if you want to have a look at the levels. Now I'll just discuss the ones closest to price action. Now at the moment we are potentially putting in a further lower top, but this market, this currency pair is very much range bound and we're heading down to support. Day support at 92.86. Can we break below that level this week? Can we break below for a move down to test weekly support at 91.41? I've been saying that for a few weeks now, but support keeps holding. So if we do trade back down to 92.86, I would expect that maybe to hold once more for a move back up. Alright, don't be sure expecting this to break because it keeps holding. It could break, but be very much aware that 92.86 is support. Do we come back down to retest? Does price hold for a move back up that range? Alright, trades onto the Aussie dollar. Now we were positive for the week. There's a 62% level in here from high to low. But ultimately we try to move above what is monthly, weekly and day resistance in this area. So monthly resistance is at 66.71. We moved above, started to fail at the daily resistance level at 67.47, and by the end of the week on Friday we closed back below monthly resistance. So we've got monthly resistance at 66.71, weekly at 66.81 and daily at 66.99. So pretty much the 6700 level there acting as strong resistance by the end of the week. We could see a little bit of an uptick at the start of the week, but watch the 67 area to be resistance for a further move down next week to potentially test daily support at 65.47. Looks like we could be putting in maybe a significant top up there for the next longer term decline. Time will tell. Alright, moving on to the euro yen. Now very consolidatory at the moment, this pair. It is still holding to a day chart downtrend. Are we forming a further lower top here at what is daily, weekly and monthly resistance area here? So daily resistance is at 145.49. Are we holding here? We've held here for 3 days on the highs. Are we holding here for a movement back down? Are we going to be coming down to move below what is monthly support, 144.26? Can we come back down to challenge day support at 143.68 here? See these 3 days all getting support at that support area. So it's very consolidatory. In my mind, I'd wait for a bit more of a clear price action. Can we break out one way or the other and see much better price action? But at the moment, potentially we're holding at resistance here at 145.49. Can we move down to retest support, day support at 143.68, and can we potentially move further down in line with the day chart downtrend? Notably, the higher time frames, weekly and monthly charts are up, so we may be getting support round about the 144 level longer term for a move higher, but you can only trade what you're seeing. The day chart trend is down. Are we failing at 145.49 up here to put in a further lower top to move down next week? Alright, moving along to the euro dollar. Now we had a weekly reversal week last week. We were positive for the week, but we closed down by the end of the week. We tried to move above what is monthly resistance at 103.40 and weekly resistance at 103.49, 103.68. That's August high here. Hit daily resistance 104.69 and then traded down, closing back below monthly resistance at 103.40. So we may get a bit of an uptick early in the week, but what I'm expecting is that this resistance area is now going to hold as resistance for a move down to test weekly support. So looking for a short-term decline back down to weekly support at 101.98, but this may be a much more significant top. We'll just have to see how things progress. Alright, moving along to the pound yen. Now, we were positive all last week, every day, and we managed to just move above weekly resistance at 166.33. Are we going to put in a further lower top to move back down to retest day support here at 164.28? So if we do move back below this resistance level on Monday into Tuesday, expect a lower top to be forming to move down to this level. If we simply have another positive day, then I would expect we're moving up to retest weekly and monthly resistance up here. Alright, very positive last week. Yes, we're in a downtrend, lower top, lower bottom. So early in the week we could form a lower top to move further down, but another positive day is probably going to suggest that we're moving up to test weekly to monthly resistance up here. Alright, so a little bit consolidatory. We could be moving higher if we don't start on a negative foot at the start of the week. Alright, last pair to review for the weekend, pound dollar. Now, what would help the pound yen move down is if the pound dollar is failing up here at resistance. So, number of resistance levels up here. We've got day resistance at 119.01, weekly resistance at 119.33, a major level of broken monthly support, which is acting as resistance at 119.58. We held there Thursday, Friday. I discussed that in my webinar on Thursday. And yes, we did fail earlier in the week at daily resistance at 120.03. So we are still in an uptrend at the moment, but are we actually starting to reverse that resistance? So at the start of the week, are we able to trade above 119 and come up and test and maybe move above the 120 level? We tested it last week, but can we move above it? I don't know if we can. I think we might be failing here. So levels to watch to the downside if we start to sell off. We've got weekly support here, 117.60. Day support here at 117.38. Are we actually going to see a move down next week? So watch this level to be support. It was support on Thursday's low here, but are we actually going to be coming down to retest that level to move down and have a bit of a corrective phase? Can we come down and actually test 116.45? So it's a bit difficult at the moment. Trend is up, but we're headlong into major resistance here. Are we actually going to see a turnaround at resistance for a move back down the range? The euro dollar put in a weekly reversal candle, so did the Aussie dollar. Is the pound dollar going to catch up? Are we going to see a movement back down the range next week? Alright, so lots of resistance to watch here. Are we able to move back above 119 and move above 120? If we see further failure in this area, expect a decline down to test 117.60 weekly support. And can we move back down to test 116.45 daily support? Okay traders, that's my analysis for today. If you want to keep up to date with my analysis, simply subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you next time. Now if you'd like to follow my forex trading analysis throughout the week, why not subscribe to the ACY Securities live interactive trading feed Telegram channel. Simply contact Nathan.bray at acy.com to get access.